Test. Presenter mic. Yes, I can hear you. Yes, now going to guest one. Guest one. Okay. Guest two. Okay, now I'm going down to turn on the other tracker and we will test on call. Okay.
جميلة من ختام بطولة سمو الأمير. هذا الختام اللي ما يليق إلا بفرسان أبطال مثلكم. نبي همتكم اليوم تعانق السحاب وأرواحكم الجميلة تملى المكان طاقة وإيجابية. لا تخلوا تمر بدون ما تستمتعون بهاللحظات الجميلة فيها الصباح المشمس. وخلوا آخر بصمة لكم هي الأجمل والأقوى. اليوم يومكم والساحة ساحتكم، استمتعوا بكل لحظة وعيشوا فرحة من قلب. مسابقة الأكيوميليتر 220 10 حواجز على أرض الميدان بمسافة 420 متر وزمن مسموح 72 ثانية. تصميم المصنع العالمي الإيطالي وليانو فيزري. بالتأكيد كلكم تطمحون بحصد أعلى اللقاط بقفز الحواجز بشكل رائع وموفق وسريع وقفز
تست كومبي انجلش كومنتري.
وفي النهاية سنحدد أعلى مجموع للنقاط وأقل زمن الفائزين. 83 فارس من
I can hear you. Good morning, how are you?
Very well, I slept well since I feel
Oh, fantastic.
I hope it will also sleep well.
Yes, ready for the day.
Okay, you don't have any feel like now?
No. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Now going to graphic panel, okay? Maybe the yeah, the okay.
first prize of about 500,000 euros going to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's Abdulghani Alshaqab. It was thrilling and today looks to be exactly the same. All the way through into the evening's beginning of the class later on tonight, and we start off right here in Alshaqab. We're starting the morning with the absolutely race action of the one-star Accumulator. One-star operating Egypt a little later on today as well taking place for the Andrew Williams, but it's the one-star Accumulator that kicks off the panel race action here, and our course design team led by Rihanna looks like have set the course of 10 minutes Accumulator, so that Jojo fence number 10 just beside the gate, the final fence on course. So, fence 1, 2, 3, and so on, all the way around the course, and the prize up to fence number 9. So, landing from that fence, providing they don't all those fences beforehand clear, they'll go to score 45, and then they have themselves a decision to make. The final fence on course, number 10, you see the golden doors, the boxer, very easy fence to jump out, it's worth 10 points each lap. See just to the left-hand side of that, the tall, narrow, vertical, that is the joker. Why is it the joker? Because it's taller, it's gappy, it's much more difficult to jump. As a result of that joker fence is worth 20 points. But there is a sting in the tail because if that joker fence falls, it is minus 20. The maximum score of perhaps this one is 65 points. So time allowed for that's 72 seconds. Now the first refuse lap, of course, will be minus 4 from the score of set for standing elimination, but I'm sure we won't have to worry too much about that here this morning when we feel that we've got ahead of us. Now, as I said, there is that time allowed 72 seconds. It is one from the score of every second over that time allowed, but they are going to go this one. They are going to have their foot to the floor from the box. So the 10 minutes accumulated time, 65 points is the maximum. We've got around 80 combinations coming forward. Pass your seatbelts and hold on to your hats because it's easy running for this one-star accumulated here this morning.
First rider, we go to the arena.
Well, good morning and welcome to Alshaqab, the Longines Arena here at Alshaqab for week 5 of the Doha Equestrian Tour. His Highness the Amir's Sword Week. We had that amazing Grand Prix last night, which was won by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's Abdullah Alshaqab. What an incredible competition that was. And if you missed a second of it, do go back and rewatch the action, because it was so intense and a fantastic competition. Anyway, today we're kicking things off with a one-star Accumulator 1m20 class out here in the Longines Arena. And this is a very exciting class. I'll take you briefly through the format. Each fence is worth points. Fence 1, 1 point. Fence 2, 2 points. Fence 3, 3 points. And so on all the way around the track. Now, when they get to fence 10, that is where a tough decision has to be made. There is a standard fence, and then there is a joker fence, which is a little bit more challenging to jump. If you jump the joker fence and clear it, you add 20 points. If you knock it down, you lose 20 points. So there's so much on the line for these riders. 65 is the maximum amount of points these riders can accumulate across the course. And if they don't wish to jump the joker, they'll end up on 55 points. So it's very much a tactical game. These riders have to think what is best for them and their horses. One refusal is minus 4 points, and every second over that time allowed is minus 1. Time allowed, 72 seconds. Let's see how our first rider tackles our trek built by Giuliano Vassani from Italy. And the first to come in. And let's see how many points they can rack up. It's for the home nation, Qatar. Abdulaziz Mohammed Al Madid joins us now with Sake AGZ. Nice lovely black track, 16-year-old mare. Now, let's get our pen and paper out and see how many points they can add up. So if a rider knocks a fence down like that, that just means they don't get any points for that first fence. So no points gathered over the first, but 2 picked up over the second. Over 3, chipped in at 4, but they're clear. So another 4 points to add there. Currently sat on 9. Oh, and unfortunately no points picked up there over fence 5. Heading round to the Oxer here at 6. Now you see -4 points have just come off the score, and that's because popped in a circle. Crossing your tracks is -4. But then obviously gained 6 points by clearing the Oxer at 6. So it was an awful lot of maths. However, it's still an awful lot of fun as he comes round to the final fence. Fence 10, you see here, the upright is the joker fence, which he's going to go for. Oh, unfortunately, he has it down. So the score becomes -11, 82.44 is the time. So -11 becomes his score to kick things off. That was a great jump over fence 6, and that managed to gain them 6 points. That was a very useful clear. As we head on to our second rider coming forward, a total of 81 riders coming forward in this one start, 1m20 accumulator, so plenty of riders wanting to come and tackle this track. And the beauty of the tour is how many nations and riders from around the world are coming to compete. 36 nations in all competitions. It really is a world-class tour. Oh, and our next rider unfortunately run into trouble there at the first. Hamad Alshaqab. Benoman Dilski. So the run out at the first will be -4, but they cleared fence 2. So 2. No points there for fence 3 or 4. So currently sat on -1. Well, really getting into their flow now. You see the points racking up because they're clear over 8, 9, and oh, what a shame. That's that joker fence at the end, catching people out. And it's a real risk these riders have to take, have to calculate what they want to do. Well, 9 points there for Hamad Alshaqab. Fenomendiski. That was unfortunately their early refusal, but they really did pick up throughout the round as it went on. Our next rider coming forward. To join us in the ring. We'll be trying to beat a score of 9. So trying to beat that score of 9, it is Abdullah Al-Gabali. Another one who's having issues at that first fence. He brings forward Quantity VDDZ. this 8-year-old stallion. So back round for their second attempt. No trouble on that second time of asking. Safely over 2, so on -1 points at the moment. Staying on that -1 for no points for 3 or 4. And he's decided to retire, popped his hand up, which means decided to retire and save himself and his horse for another day. He could feel early on that Cornetto was just not on his A game today. And these riders know their horses so well. They know when's the time to just pull up, save them for another day, maybe go back and work on a few things and try again. We have week 6 of the tour next week, so these riders will have a little bit of a break before competition begins again on Wednesday next week. And that's the beauty of the tour like this, is week after week of jumping, riders can really progress with their horses. And if there is ever a little mistake, easily fixed next week. Well, anyway, on we go to a rider coming forward for Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Hala Al-Sharid joins us with energy. And off to a good start. On 6 points, maximum amount of points so far. Can we have our first rider complete on maximum points? Wow, she's looking good so far. Everything's staying in the cups at the moment. Over 6. And also, she's pretty speedy. Time comes into consideration. If there's multiple people on the same points, the fastest rider is going to be the one to take the win. So it's such a balancing act between wanting to keep moving forward, keep the poles up. Does she go for the joker? Well, we'll wait and see. She's maxing out at the moment. She's going for it. Bit of a wobble. Oh, what a shame. So close to a maximum there, but 25 points is still good enough to go into the lead at this early stage of competition. Well, energy really living up to her name, because the time was very good as well. They were just cruising over all the elements. You see they're just turning back instantly, looking where she's going. Oh, good effort. That joker fence, that upright fence, is a little bit bigger than the spread fence next to it. It's quite gappy, and it's just more of a challenging fence to jump because it's a tighter turn from fence 9. So that's why it's coming down quite a lot, is it's a little bit more of a challenge for these horses and riders. Well, a rider coming forward for Qatar now, Mohammed Mansour Al Sultan. And he brings forward Mazel Tov. Oh, what a leap over fence 2. He's really racking up the points at the moment. Can he? Oh no, what a shame. He's just bypassed fence 4, so that is -4 to his score. Zipped back over it on that second time of asking. Oh, and unfortunately another run out does mean an elimination. 2 stops or 2 refuse or 2 run outs does result in elimination here. So I don't think it's due to the fact that they weren't able to jump the fences, because you could see when they were jumping they were clearly very capable. I think it's just a minor control and directional issue. Once they've got that sorted, well, you can just see, look at the scope this horse has. Height is certainly not an issue. So I just think a little bit of control and redirection, that's all is needed, because Mohammed Mansour was quite small on Mazel Tov. And it can be hard to contain a large horse like that when you're a little person. But he did a fantastic job over the ones that he cleared. But we're on now again to a rider from Qatar. It is the turn of Yaqub Nasser Almas. Cornet N. And just a 7-year-old, so one of our younger horses coming forward, owned by the Qatar Armed Forces, this gelding. Just making sure he's nice and familiar with some of the fences before they come round, just letting him get used to the arena because it's such a beautiful big arena here in the Longines Outdoor Arena Alshaqab. This beautiful horseshoe shape to really symbolise their equestrian mission. This will be some of the biggest arenas that these young horses have ever competed in. Well, we're off to a good start, clear over the first. And the second. Just making sure they were balanced for that third. Straightness is key for this vertical. And the 7-year-old ever so slightly green at times on straightness, but you can just see the talent that this gelding has. The scope, the jump, no issue at all. It's purely just a little bit of green. This one they go a little bit wobbly, but the expertise of Yaqub Nasser Almas making sure he's nice and straight. And it's paying off. Look at that score, up to 36, 45 to the final fence. Go for the joker. Can we have our first? Oh my gosh, so close to have a first finishing on that full score, but 25 is the score for them. Good enough to go into second place. Al-Rashid still leading with energy, also 125, but a faster time by almost 10 seconds. That really was a fast round that we saw earlier on. Lots of riders wanting to give that joker fence a go, and with 81 starters, I'm sure we're going to see somebody finish on that full total of 65, but 25 is the best so far. With this beautiful day, it's a perfect setting for some fantastic jumping here at Alshaqab. We're so lucky to be able to have these facilities to jump this one-star class in. Alshaqab, of course, founded back in 1992 by His Highness Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani to build on Qatar's Arabian horse heritage. And there's so many parts of this venue that are just phenomenal. The vets, the training centres, the stables, and obviously the huge Longines arena that we're jumping in for this one-star Accumulator. So we're moving on to the USA now. Coming forward for them, Liza Tittle's in the ring with Jerez S. Twelve-year-old gelding. Actually run by, actually owned, I should say, by Bull Run Jumpers. An establishment out in the US. Oh, she's doing a fantastic job on the maximum 6 points as she clears 3. 10 now she clears 4. Round of 5, can she get up to 15? Yes, lovely, neat jump there. She's turning in the air over that fence. She's conscious of the time. Taking probably the tightest line we've seen so far today. What an angle over fence 8. Still racking up the points in a fantastic manner. To the last she goes, going for the joker. Oh, unfortunately it goes
25 points.
25 points. But the time was fantastic. You could see the turns that she took. She really, really rolled the dice, played the gamble, and 25 in a time of 51.58 puts her into the lead. You can see just as she's jumping that fence, turning in the air. Especially here, this was a fantastic turn back. So 25 points still the score to beat. 51.58 the time. But if anybody can pick up more than 25 points, time does not matter so much. So it'd be interesting to see the riders' tactics as they go on. Unfortunately, a first refusal for our next rider for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Tamara Alamran joins us now with Donna de Brizos. So 1-1 now picked up to 2 points after clearing fence 3. Unfortunately not gaining any there at 4. She's climbed her way back up to 20. Oh, unfortunate there at 8. So just the final fence 10 left to go for her, sensibly opting for the Oxer, and a lovely way to finish her round. Well, 30 points. Impressive stuff. She's clever thinking at the end to decide to go for the standard fence, because that actually puts her on the most points we've seen so far today from our riders, our 8 riders that come forward. So 30 points becomes the score to beat, posted there by Tamara Alamran. 69.10. That's where this class is so unique. These riders have got to keep thinking the whole way around. Not just about the usual stuff, the fences, the course, but they're also thinking about the time. They're also thinking about tactics when they get to that final fence at the end. Well, now we turn our attentions to Abdul Aziz, Jasmine Al-Tahani and Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, this 12-year-old Hanoverian gelding, who's just jumped fence 4 and is on the maximum amount of points of 10. That's a very, very big horse. But he's maintaining him really, really nicely. And he checked in there at 7, but the carefulness of Steve Jobs means they're clear. Now, what's he going to pick at 10? 145. This could be very interesting. Going for the Joker. And we have our first rider. Clear all the way, and maximum amount of points, 65. What a round, a big smile, and quite rightly so, because what a beautiful round as well. Never looked rushed. Clear 60.45 the time, 65 points. Now, has proven to the others that it can be done. Anybody else who's going to pick up the maximum amounts of points will have to try and contest the time of 60.45. But what a round there for the home nation from Qatar. And we're bound to another coming for Qatar now. Sheikh Ahmed Khalifa Al-Tahani joins us now with La Choufe. Knocked down there at 3. Total at the moment 7. It's a 10-year-old. Yeah. She's very nimble with her legs because they got in quite deep there at 6, but she doesn't really want to touch the fences, which is a brilliant attribute for a show jumper. just getting a little bit deeper. She wasn't able to get her legs out the way over that fence. So on 34 as they swing round to the last, opting for the standard fence. So 34 is what they stay on. A good score goes into second place, actually. So we have Qatar 1-2 at the moment. Second place is 59.07.
So moving back towards the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Mare did try her best. Just occasionally when they get a little bit deep, she just couldn't quite get her legs out the way. But still, good score, 34. One rider on that maximum score of 65. Continuing on with the home nation. In fact, we are moving on to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia now. They've been having lots of success so far on this Doha Equestrian Tour. Can we see another top 5 finish for them in our accumulator class here? Faisal Fahad Alouda joins us now with Sentha PS. Oldenburg mare, 9 years old. Maximum points at this early stage of the track and turning in the air over fence 4. Oh, this could be good. Very conscious of the time as they are cutting the corners, turning in the air, shaving off the seconds, taking 8 on an angle. Competition starting to hot up. All round to the final fence, going for the joker. Oh, we have another one. Who has finished on the maximum amount of points? I told you, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia on flying form this week. 65 as the points, 52.06. Wow, what a time. Nearly 8 seconds faster than Abdul Aziz, Jasmine Al-Tahani and Steve Jobs. Riders really finding their flow now. I'm sure these guys will have watched a few of the earlier ones, worked out what's jumping well and what needs a little bit more respect, and now we're starting to see some big scores coming through. So now we head on to Qatar. Jake Nasser, Khalifa Al-Tahani, Everest D. So we're on -4 points to start their round with this 17-year-old KWP gelding. Just not happening today, unfortunately. 2 refusals. Here's an elimination. I think it's purely just a little bit of a control aspect. So I think that's why he's just doing a few circles now to settle in before he heads out the arena.
So from Qatar to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia once more. This time it's the...
So we're moving on to our next rider joining us in the arena.
The next feature for us this morning is going to be Florestina and Saudi.
We're heading on to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. They're obviously currently leading this class. That fantastic round from Faisal just a few moments ago. But what can we see from Sal? Al-Rashid now and Florestina. Florestina, a 12-year-old mare. To a good start. Safely over 6 on the maximum amount of points. This could be good. We could have 1-2 for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. He can keep the poles up. He's picking up the pace as well as he gets towards the end. Coming in on the max, 45, going for the joker. Oh, what a shame. Knocks the last, that joker fence so close to perfection. 25 points will be the score that he finishes on. 52-6-0. Another speedy round, so that pops them into 6th place. You can see they were really cruising around this track from start to finish. That's just the fence that caught them out. That joker fence is a hard fence to jump on a tighter left-hand curve. It's a lot gappier than the Oxer fence, which is the standard fence for them to jump. So that is why it is causing a few issues. So on we go now to our next combination coming forward for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Ibrahim Abdullah with Arosa. Another 17-year-old joining us. 17-year-old horse. Bit of a rattle there at 3, stays in the cuts. No points picked up at 4, so cruising around on 6 at this current stage. Having the stride in at fence 6, and it was very much needed, so then now on 17. Looks very, very keen, and he's doing a good job of just keeping her contained. Final fence now. Another one going for the joker and clearing it. Wow, fantastic effort. 61 is the points for Abdullah, Ibrahim Abdullah and Arosa. 54-4-0 is the time. So that pops them into 3rd. Well, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia leading the way. We have Abdullah Aziz Jasmine in 2nd. Abdullah, Ibrahim Abdullah in 3rd for Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Then Qatar again in 4th. Sheikh Ahmed Khalifa. So it's really becoming a battle between the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and Qatar. What can we see from our next rider from Qatar? Can they shake up the leaderboard? Hamad Nasser Al-Mari joins us now with Extra Pan. 12-year-old by Cannon. They're covering the ground well, and at this current stage, poles are staying in place. On the max points. Oh, they saw a long one there at 6, didn't they? Really cutting that corner round to this upright. Keeping a very forward canter. Oh, it's the last. Coming now. What are they going to pick? They pick the joker. Oh, and it falls. Definitely not the first one today to have that fence down. 25 becomes their points, and 51-8 the time. I believe the fastest round we've actually had. They were moving from start to finish. So it puts them into 6th place at this early stage of competition. So we have 80 riders coming forward throughout with a total prize money of €5,000. Prize money here is absolutely fantastic across all the classes. Of course, last night for that big Grand Prix, €1.5 million up for grabs. Jordan now It is the turn of Mina Mohammed Hamoudi and Sorsto. 17-year-old Holstein gelding by Diarado. Neatly over the first to kick their round off. The riders have seen twice now that it can be done. You can gain the maximum amount of points around this track designed by Giuliano Vasani. This is looking like a strong combination. Mona riding very well indeed. She's getting quite a straight line. Over that upright compared to some that we have seen. Got in close, but the athleticism of the mares helped them out. And over the last, we have another on that maximum amount of points. Very, very good round indeed. 57.40 is the time, and that's good enough for second place. So pushing Abdullah Aziz Jasmine back into third. Mona into second. Faisal Fahad Aloda still leading the way for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia with a maximum amount of points, 52.06. It's getting interesting now as we head on to another from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Nora Arashid joins us with Love You SMH. One penalties at the moment for that run out. Unfortunately, a second does mean an elimination. So, not to be today. Just a little bit of a communication issue, I think, between horse and rider. She's just lining up again for fence one, but I don't think it's going to be today. When riders are eliminated, they often are allowed to jump one fence again just before they leave the ring.
So Qatar do next.
So as she heads out, we move on to our next rider coming forwards. This big class of just over 80 riders. So it's going to be a competitive one because we've already had 3 riders finish on the maximum amount of points. So our next rider coming forward is in fact for Qatar. It is Sheikh Fahad Jasmine Al Thani. Ciara LU. 16-year-old Holstein mare. Casal. Rattled free, but it stayed. That's all that matters. A very inside line, round to 7. Cutting the corner again up to 8. to the last on the maximum amount of points, heading for that joker. Oh, unfortunately it goes. That's why it is the joker. It's an incredibly hard fence to jump. It's skinny, it's airy, it's light, and it's big, so it's causing a few issues, but 25 from the points they finish on. And, a new fastest time of the day, 48.52, so a shame about that last fence, because that really was some time.
So time to reach the moment, 52.06. Our next goes for Ricky with a Bahrain in Steam, DSP Sassy, Hussein Ali Hussein.
So on we go to Bahrain now. Ali Hussein Al Mandel joins us. He's aboard DSP CZ. Chestnut mare. Oh, and unfortunately, a parting of company. Thankfully, a little dismount that doesn't look like horse or rider are hurt at all. Both of them absolutely fine, just probably slightly disappointed. So great to see everybody's okay and head out the arena.
So our next to join us is for Germany, riding this emerald side, building its
paramedics just will check them over because the fantastic team here at Alshaqab are here to make sure horses and riders are safe and happy at all times, and they are very quick to respond to any incidents. As we see them leave the arena, you can just see how big this arena is. It really is a spectacle here in the Longines Outdoor Arena. To Germany now, Maria Gerdes in the ring, bringing forward Matador. By Emerald, this 14-year-old. Drop back in the canter. She's had to ride quite positively then just to make sure that the momentum stayed, but unfortunately fence 4 falls down there. On 11. Racking up the points now, 17. Skipped on over 7. Quite a right-angled approach to fence 8, one of the straighter ones that we have seen. Lots of people trying to cut that corner, save the time. She's just trying to keep these fences up because the points are gaining, and oh, it was so close at the last. She seems very happy still, which is great to see. 21 is the total points for Marie. And Matador. 61.69 was their time. And that pops them just outside the top 10 in 13th place. So back to Qatar now. Qatar and Kingdom of Saudi Arabia very much dominating our leaderboard so far, but it's the turn of Mohammed Rashid Al Amri with Cannavaro de Muse. 18-year-old stallion owned by the Qatar Equestrian Federation. And impeccably turned out. Beautiful, beautiful white horse here. up to 19 as they swing back on themselves for fence 7. Now he's making sure he gets a good straight turn to 8. Needs to optimize his chance of gaining as many points as possible. Well, he's on 43. This could be promising. Deciding to go for the joker, and it stays. Ah, a very good gamble. 63 is the total. It's not the maximum amount of points, but it's only 2 points off of that. So a fantastic effort and some very clever riding, because he made sure he was very straight to fence 8 and didn't risk any further poles down. So with a time of 58.46, they head into 4th place. So it's looking very, very good for Qatar. But it's Kingdom of Saudi Arabia who are leading the way. Can another one of their riders make their way into the top 5? Well, we will wait and see. Now jumping. Looks like we have Khalid Ahadi and Hurry Up by Morocco Blue. Unfortunately, going through that first part of the Ox offence there at 5. So you heard the bell ring. That just means the rider to stop, because the arena party will come in, rebuild the fence, and then they can come around for their second attempt. The arena party so efficient here. That fence swiftly rebuilt. Asking and heading back round now to this upright in the middle here at 7. Oh, but unfortunately a second refusal, so not to be today.
Sadly, a second Newfoundland on board.
They pop one over it as their final fence, but yeah, elimination today.
So the next again, winner in the one-star media jump-off competition yesterday, it is for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Khalid Al-Hadi and Hurry Up.
So on we go to our next rider for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, a winner in the 1-star yesterday. And immediate jump-off, it is Khalid Al-Hadi and Hurry Up. See why they took the win yesterday, because they're not hanging around, are they? Very forward from the get-go. This could be interesting on the time if they can keep the poles in place. Still on maximum amount of points as they swing back to 6. Oh, what a turn. What a turn. And that angle over 7 is already angling them to 8. This is where they're saving the seconds. Oh, but unfortunately, getting a little flat as a result over 8, and it comes down. Going for that joker fence. And that falls as well. So 17 becomes a total 47.82. My gosh, they were incredibly fast. But 17, it becomes a points into the top 15. So 15th place exactly for them, as we have 1 left to go before we have a short arena maintenance break. We are really whizzing through this class. riders have come out and they mean business as we head on, as I say, to the final rider before this arena maintenance break. For the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, it is His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Al Saud and Auckland. 16-year-old gelding by Janat. This is a neat gelding. He's really trying, he doesn't want to touch the poles. No matter how deep they get, very careful with that back end. Oh, but unfortunately, a refusal there at 8. And the bell goes as that bottom part of the fence has been dislodged, so that will be popped back into the cups as they come round for their second attempt. Lining up now for the vertical. Oh, nicely done on the second time of asking. So just the final fence left to go on 17, going for that joker and clearing it very nicely. 32 becomes their total, 61-21. So in fact, with the joker points added on, it's 61. And into 6th place, into the top 10. Well, some impressive riding indeed. We're going to have a short break and we'll be back with a continuation of our one-star accumulator 1m20. So don't go far. Kingdom of Saudi Arabia currently leading the way. That is Faisal Fahad Aloda with 65 in a time of 52.06. So 3 who finished on that maximum amount of points. Let's see if we can have some more after our break. See you back in a few short moments. Well, welcome back for our next section here of the one-star accumulator 1m20 here in Alshaqab in the Longines Outdoor Arena. It's part of the Doha Equestrian Tour. We're on week 5, and it is the week of His Highness the Amir's sword. Today we're starting our action off with this 1m20 accumulator. We've already had a good chunk of the competitors earlier on, and we've had 3 of them finish on the maximum score of 65. So let's see how many more we can get in our next section of riders. Finish on that golden total of 65. And our first rider back underway is off to a valiant effort. Clear so far for the country of Kuwait. It is Alshaqab and Hamad 2TH. Couple down there at 3 and 4, but safely over 5. This 14-year-old gelding. So currently on a score of 21. Unfortunately not picking up any points over 8. Round to the final fence 10. Going for that joker. Oh, and I thought it was going to stay, just rattling it with the back legs. Means 10 becomes their points total at the end of their round. 55-27 will be their time. Well, a good time indeed, actually. But those unfortunate holes, and no points were picked up over a bit of a section of the course. And, of course, that last fence going. But 10 points regardless into 17th place. We have a big class, nearly 80 competitors in this class. 5,000 euros in prize money up for grabs. On we go to Qatar now. It, in fact, is going to be Gard, Mustaine, Ibrahim, and Corny Z. This 10-year-old on 15 points. Oh, and a real flying jump over fence 6. Sent them quite wide now on this turn to 7. Well, on 45, a good score indeed. Can they add 20 to that? Wow, yes they can. Clearing that joker was so valuable. Congratulations. 65 points. Very, very good indeed. The maximum amount of points gained out on track, 55-54 is the time. Some fantastic riding from Ghana there. And Corny Z. So into second place there. Still the time to beat, 52.06. So on we go to Qatar. Now it is Jabba Rashid Al Amri. Milieu van de Kresenhof. Just an 8-year-old. He's in a dream. Now, if anybody's just tuned in and are not sure what this accumulator class is, basically the riders go around, jump their track, and each jump is worth a certain amount of points. So fence 1 is 1 point, fence 2 is 2, fence 3 is 3, and so on. If they knock a pole like that, unfortunately no points gained over fence 4 there. And the rider with the highest points at the end of the fastest time will win, but the highest points you can collect is 65, because on the very, very last jump, it is a joker fence. So 20 points if you clear the joker, minus 20 if you don't. We've only had 4 riders so far finish on that maximum amount of points. Well, Jabba's not going to finish on that, but racking up a good amount of points at the moment. 41 going for that joker fence. Oh, unfortunately it falls, so 21 becomes the total. 51.19 as the time, and in to 16th place.
رقم الحارس رقم 4 وعبد الرزاق رقم 10 حرف جوكر بالنسبة للفارس 21
So the next to go is for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. This is Hamad, Alshaqab, and others performed.
So we're going on to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. They've been having a fantastic time in this class. Currently leading the way. And of course is Faisal Fahad Dola out in front. Can we have another join him in the top 3? Well, we'll see. Mohammed Asaka joins us now. He's aboard Q Sail. 10-year-old KWPN stallion. On the maximum amount of points at the moment, heading round to this Oxer at 5. Very neatly done. He just made sure to rebalance before that. Oh, but unfortunately taking a bit of a disliking to that Oxer at 6. Trouble on that second time of asking. So if they have a refusal like we just saw, that is -4 points. That's why you see the score suddenly drop down a little bit. And opting for that right, get my rights and lefts the correct way round. The left-hand side when you're looking at it, but it's the right-hand side for the riders. That Oxer fence is actually fence 10. So at fence 10, that's where they can pick the standard fence, which you just saw, or the Joker fence, which we have seen plenty of. That Joker fence is a little bit more challenging, as it is very upright and gappy and does fall a little bit easier. But the Oxer fence, very smart move for them to jump, because that means they're on 48 points. 74.54 was the time. And into the top 10, into 8th place. Smart decision making, and that's a lot of what this accumulator class is all about. These riders have to be choosing what is the best option when they come around to that final fence, picking Joker or standard fence, but also, of course, time plays a part. They've got to be fast if they want to be at the top of the leaderboard, fast and on the maximum amount of points. Much easier said than done. So we head on now to a rider coming forward for Qatar. It is Hamad Jasmine Al Swaidi with Power Girl JMG. 11-year-old mare. Unfortunately, hitting fence 4. On a score of 24 as they swing round over 8, really jumping that on the curve. 41's the total as they're coming to the Joker. Oh, it goes -20 there, so 21 becomes their score. 48.55. They really were rapid, zipping around this track. Very fast time, so pops them into 17th place.
Al-Suwaidi and Power Girl JMG, but here we go with the next. This is number 227, the mare, hotspot 15, the Sheikha Khalifa Jassim Al-Thani.
So on we go to another rider for Qatar. Sheikh Khalifa Jasmine Al-Thani joins us now with hotspot 15. 11-year-old Holstein mare by Dinkin. going so well, unfortunately taking out fence 4, so no points added. Swinging round now, 2-6. No fence goes, so heading in on 33, choosing the joker. Oh, unfortunately that goes as well, so 13 becomes their total into 21st position, 53.43. We're seeing some very good times, but it is all about keeping the poles up and collecting the points throughout the round. Just got a bit close to that right there at 4. That was their first fence down.
This is Dreamhall, gelding French bred, now at 13 years of age.
So on we go to Q8 now. Mohammed Alshaqab joins us with Dreamfall. 13-year-old. Someone will say gelding. Unfortunately, not really getting much height over fence 5. So they're on 16. They want to try and keep these last few fences up to really gain a few more points. That's why they got a lovely straight line over 8. Oh, what a shame that the joker goes 13 and into 22nd place. 13 their points, 64.2 as their time.
So our next to go is for the nation of Qatar, another Sanctuary bred horse. This one at 15 years of age. It is
just taken out with the hind legs. You see that it is a challenging fence to jump. That's why it is the joker fence. It's on a slightly tighter line after fence 9 as well. There's another rider for Qatar joins us now. Lion Sultan Al Thani, Dino BBZ. 15-year-old bay stallion, and they're off. Just catching that back rail there. Well, on the total of 26 into the final few fences. Oh, 8 going as well. Just taking quite a tight turn there and it not paying off, but very neatly over 9. Well, 45 is their score. She was smart at the end there, opting for the standard fence 10 rather than the joker to try and just add a few extra points to her score. And smart riding like that moves her into the top 10, into 9th for the time of 53.38. So very clever riding indeed. It is very much a tactics game, this accumulator class. Not just the normal things these riders have to think about. You know, the time, the turns, the course in itself, but also decision making when it comes to that final fence. Continuing on with Qatar, Suaim Hamid Al-Afi in the arena now. Fundell joins us. 11-year-old chestnut French bred. unfortunately, that little bit of a stuttery stride at 3 results in them taking that pole. So on 7 points, swinging round to 5. Oh, much more rhythmical jump over fence 5 there. Running into trouble here at 6. And that second refusal. In fact, that hasn't counted as a refusal. That's just counted as him showing the horse the fence again after the first time. Judges decided it was not fully presented. So just the one refusal to add there, and on 21 points. Really just asking his gelding to sit and wait down that line to the Oxer. Oh, and a lovely jump over the joker fence, one of the cleanest we've seen. 43 becomes their total. It's amazing jumping that joker fence, keeping up, how much that can really impact your score. 20 points added instantly. 43 and into the top 10, into 10th place exactly. 86.65 is the time.
So the bell stands for the next another ball in Qatar. This time it is the 10-year-old.
So well to stay on during that stop. Could have easily been a parting of company, but these riders have impeccable balance, impeccable core stability as well. So continuing with our Qatari riders, Hazza Marbak Al Haji joins us now. Coming forward with Chester, owned by the Qatar Armed Forces. Real flying jump over fence 4. Now they're really kicking on down to 5. Well, this time is going to be good. They've got to try and keep as many fences up as they can now. On 40 points. Oh, and they've kept the joker up. Wow, brilliant stuff. 60 is their total, 52.13 the time. And that puts them into 8th place. While still leading the way, Faisal Fahad Aloda. Maximum amount of points is 65. 52.06 was their time. But we have another rider from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Can he join his fellow rider up in the top 5? It is the turn of Abdulaziz Fahad Ali and Manifest DK. Manifest DK, just a 7-year-old. One of our younger horses in the class, but that's the beauty of show jumping. Is we have had 18-year-olds right the way down to 7-year-olds, and these horses being able to jump on a tour like this, fantastic for the younger ones to learn the ropes, the older ones to come and shine. Well, on 33. Heading around to the final fence. Well, they finish on 22 there, 63.95 the time. That pops them in to 20th place at this stage of the competition.
Myself, Hamad leads the way with 7 PS for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. But here we go with the next also for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
So we have lots of riders today from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And the next to come forward for them, it is Fahad Al-Jaid. And he brings forward Tarkan B. It's an 18-year-old horse, so we've gone from a 7-year-old to an 18-year-old. Jumping well at the moment on the maximum amount of points. Oh, unfortunately that back rail of 5 going, so no points picked up there. 6 points picked up at fence 6, and look at how tight they're turning into 7. Very neatly done as well. Horse has a big stride, though it's not looking like it's galloping quickly. He's been very economical with his turns.
Going to be 60 points there.
So 60 points, a very, very good effort indeed. 57.53, so pretty quick time there as well. Puts them into 9th place. This competition really starting to get interesting with the 4 riders on that maximum amount of points.
This is Wagner, the gelding this one, 9-year-old by too long. Hamad Al-Mari.
So on we go to Qatar. Mohammed Al-Mari in the ring now. Alaka. Nine-year-old gelding. Tulan. They rattled 4, but it stayed. Everything's in the cups so far at the halfway point. And some very clever footwork there from the gelding. They got a bit deep, but he did not want to touch that pole. A bit close there at 8. Not quite enough room to get his legs out the way as they turn to the joker fence at the last. That falls as well, so 17 is their total and 61.84. So into 26th place on our overall leaderboard. Just see how careful the gelding was there over that oxen. Back end right up in the air. Really giving it his all. This is just where he couldn't quite get his front end out the way quick enough. So we're heading on to our rider from Egypt now. Egypt have really been on fire this week in the freestyle competitions. What can they do in the 1-star? Fatima Mohanda Alishaqab now riding. Coming forward, Hippocampus de Mar. Beautiful stallion. Fatima quite small on him. However, doing a really good job of keeping him all together as one. Sometimes these big horses can become quite long and challenging to hold together, but she's doing a super job so far. Little stride added there. Nifty big horse as well. Actually coming in on the maximum amount of points so far. Are we going to have another finish on 65? Yes, we are. This young lady absolutely flying. I told you Egypt were on flying form as a country, and she's continuing that streak. Fatima producing a fantastic round there into 2nd place, 52.95 the time. And they were just together as one, as a partnership the whole way round.
So the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia leading Egypt second and third. Back to Qatar.
So here is our top 5 as it stands. Fatima slotting into second there. Still out in front. It is Faisal a load up. 52.06. So we're moving on to Qatar now. Miriam, Ahmed, Al Boynin, Voldenut, Tardone. Year-old gelding by Tinker's Boy. Angled over 7 on 28 points maximum so far. Keeping that turnover 8 a bit of a rattle, but it stays. Or we could have another finish on 65. She's going for the joker. Oh, and it stays. Look at this. 2 back-to-back, 57.25 the time, into 4th place. This competition really is getting interesting now. 4th place there for Mariam. That moves Mona Mohammed Hamid back into 5th place for Jordan. So we have Kingdom of Saudi Arabia still leading the way with Faisal Fahad Adola. Fatima Mohammed Al-Kashwi in 2nd. Third at the moment, Khan Rustam Ibrahim. We have a new rider joining us now for Bahrain is Hussein Mohammed Dadala, Golden Eyes de Bravu. And he's not hanging around, really keeping the pace up around that curve. Got a good shot over 7. Oh, this could be interesting. Coming round to the last on the maximum amount of points, but oh, what a shame. Joker falls, he looks back, 25 becomes a total 48.18. What a time indeed. They would have rocketed into the lead. But unfortunately, that Joker fence catching them out. An incredibly fast time. You can see over every fence they're turning as they're jumping, and that's how they're saving the seconds. So continuing on with Qatar now, Mohammed Faisal Al-Mari is in the ring, getting ready to go. With the grey gelding Liberty. This 15-year-old by Concord. See another finish on that total of 65. 6 have done it so far. Oh, unfortunately, fence 5 falling. What a shot over fence 6. Getting in tight there at 8 for a big horse. Some very clever footwork, and again at 9, really trying Liberty is, but unfortunately think just losing a little bit of confidence at the last there. Now come round for another attempt. Just after a couple of little bit more challenging fences over 8 and 9 with the type of stride they were met on. I think Liberty was just regrouping himself. Didn't fancy that last fence, just wanted a little bit more confidence. So coming back for a second attempt. No trouble on that second time of asking. He comes down, but they jumped it. So total points of 186.73 because they were over that time allowed limit of 72 seconds. It was looking like a super round before that last fence.
This is a 13-year-old. It's a Amir like Cordes too. This is CSI1 Abdulghani Motors.
So on we go, continuing with Qatar. The grey this time, Abdullah Ahmed Al-Musafri in the ring with Celia Z. 13-year-old mare. Taking quite the leap over a 4. Actually catching that rail there at 5. Doing well to get their line again for 6. Well, over the last 57, the points not bad at all. 56.92 the time into 12th place on our rankings, just outside that top 10. As we have 5 riders to go before we have another arena maintenance break. Lots of riders in this class, nearly 80 coming forwards.
And this one joining us here is for Qatar, the Amir Georgia Demograde and the rider Mohammed Mansour Al-Sultan.
So to Qatar now, Mohammed Mansour Al-Sultan bringing forward Georgia Demograde. Unfortunately, a refusal there at 1. And 2 refusals does mean an elimination. So, to be for the pair.
So where do we go now?
So as they head out the ring, we're heading on to a rider from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Salim Baritham now in the ring. Salim Baharif bringing forward Alsan at 69. 15-year-old Hanoverian gelding. Off to a good start. This was by a Scari 173. Gone at 6. Jumping 7 on the angle, conscious that they can still do well if they can keep the other poles up and keep gaining points. So just the last to go. Well, they clear the Joker. Well, that was very nice indeed. Up to 51 points. That Joker's so influential, can make or break a round of 51. The number of points they collected. throughout the track. 50.29 as the time and into 13th place. So I believe 2 to go before our arena maintenance break. And it is the turn of Abdulghani Al-Qari for Qatar.
Well, in fact, it's number 52 that goes next for Qatar. Jeffrey Colorado, Abdulghani's lead, Al-Qari.
So in fact there has been a rider swap, and it is also continuing for Qatar. We're still on Qatar, but this time it is Abdulaziz Khalid Al-Bakari and Jeffrey Collado. Well, they're racking up the points well so far on the maximum amount, just making sure they're getting their stride right for 5. They rattled that front rail, but it did stay. And just got to make sure they don't get a little bit long and open. Got quite forward over that Oxer at 6. Well collected again for that vertical. A bit of a jumble there at 8. They don't have long to regain themselves, and they did that beautifully over 9. So coming round to the last, going for the joker on 37. Oh, that falls as well. 17 becomes their total, and pops them just outside the top 30 there in 32nd position.
So
now we have 2 to go before our arena maintenance break. And actually our last 2 also from Qatar. We only have 1 rider in the top 5 at the moment from Qatar. That's Amir, who produced that great round earlier on today, finishing on that total of 65, that golden 65. Can any of our last 2 riders replicate that? It is Abdulghani Al-Qari, Hadan Des Fabris. Nine-year-old Bay Stallion by Cantoro. Oh, just running into the bottom of the fence 6. So the time has been stopped, and the arena party will come and rebuild the fence as you see them there. Time gets stopped and then restarted, as you heard from the bell there. That's the signal to the riders that fence is safe for them to represent. And when he goes back through where he left off, the time will begin again. Judges are very swift at working out all their timings, and a bit of a stutter as they came into it. I think just a slight loss of confidence from that stop, but they are clear. And I'm gaining more confidence over fence 7. So 141 heading to the joker. Oh, that falls unfortunately. So 21 becomes their total into 30th place with 67.22 as their time. Just 1 to go before our arena maintenance break. Another from Qatar. We've seen so many people go for that joker fence. It has caught quite a few out. But as I say, One left to come forward. Will they go for the Joker? Will it stay? Will they finish on 65? The golden 65, that's the maximum amount of points that riders can accumulate in this class. And that is from jumping all the fences clear, and then at fence 10, jumping the Joker and keeping it up, which is proving to be quite a challenge so far today. So here we have our final rider before our arena maintenance break. Heading round to the first fence for Qatar. Beg your pardon, that was in fact Mohammed just leaving the arena. You can see the beautiful roof here with all the flags of countries represented. 36 nations in all competitions this week. Going forward, it's just such a phenomenal thing to have so many nations here in Qatar competing at this beautiful Alshaqab Equestrian Centre. As part of the Doha Equestrian Tour, week 5. We're on. Here, in fact, is our final rider, number 55, to come forwards in the class today. 80 riders in total. It is Mohammed Jabor Al Naimi. On home, Dorville. This 15-year-old bay gelding. Very cat-like over fence 4, just trying to keep the poles in position. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen at 5, so no penalties, no points, I should say, will be picked up for fence 5 because the pole has dropped. However, 6 points picked up at fence 6, 7 clear as well. This is becoming useful. Close at 8, but it stays up into the 30s. Now, are they going to go for the Joker, or are they going to go for the main fence? Going for the Joker on a very good score of 40. Oh, unfortunately, the Joker goes, so that drops to 20, 61, 76 is their time, and 20 the total. So into 31st position for Mohammed Jabor Al Naimi. So that concludes our second section of jumping here in the one-star accumulator 1 meter 20 class. But we still have our final third of riders to come forward. 5 so far. 6, in fact, that have finished on that golden total of 65. Here's our top 5 as it stands. Faisal Fahad Aloda leading the way there with 52.06 as the time. Will we see anybody else come close? Well, I'll be back in a few short moments after our arena maintenance break to see.
I just want to live my way and never lie to you.
So we're back for our final section of jumping in this one-star accumulator 1 meter 20 class. And our next rider to come forward to try and contest for a place and a part of that €5,000 worth of prize money. From Qatar, it's Mohammed Nasser Al-Qadi and Kalikul 47. Now the time to beat is 52.06 on that golden score of 65 points by Faisal Fahad Al-Loda earlier on today for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Now we've had 6 in total finish on 65. Unfortunately, it's not going to be 65 for Mohammed Nasser Al-Qadi, but an early fence down is only missing 3 points. We're now 5, so currently on a total of 7. Coming round to the last, opting for this joker fence. It does fall, so 17 becomes the total, 56, 39's the time. Into 33rd position to kick things off after our break. If you're just tuning in, this of course is a 1-star accumulator 1 meter 20 class. So what that means is every fence is worth points. Fence 1 is worth 1, fence 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, and so on. And then when they come around to fence 10, we've just seen that they have an option of a standard Oxa fence or the joker fence, which is that upright that you just saw in the background there. They jump the standard fence, it's 10 points. The joker fence clear is a 20 points. Joker fence coming down is minus 20. So it's a big gamble to take. We've seen a few people take it and it pay off, a few haven't. What will we see from our next rider coming forward for Egypt? It is Yazin Mohammed El Kashari. He brings forward Javaro Imperio Epico. And everything stayed in place so far. Coming around to fence 7 on the maximum amount of points. That's gone up to 28 now. Oh, could we have another person finish on 65 points? Looking good, coming to the last, this joker fence. Oh, unfortunately it goes down to 25 points there, 59.47 the time. Oh, what a shame, nearly, but that's the risk with that joker fence, it can easily fall.
14 years of age, this next girl is by Doha Bank, Caesar and Qatar's Jassim Al-Mari.
See there just how easily it falls, just a little tap of the hooves, and then that joker fence is down. As we're on to Qatar now. Jassim El-Khoury in the ring with Cesar Demarquet. $14-year-old. $5 de la Pia. Looking confident at this early stage of the track, really turning in the air over fence 4, and keeping the momentum down to 5. Cutting the corner to 8. Brilliant carefulness from Cesar Demarquet. Well, on the maximums, they head round to the joker, and it stays. Well, what a round. 65 points. Maxed out there. Fantastic jumping indeed. And wow, what a time. 49.60. We have a new leader in our one-star accumulator 1 meter 20 class. Jassim El-Khoury and Cesar Demarquet into the lead. 49.60. Now the time to beat. Also has so much scope. Face of Harajola back into second. So our latest rider has in fact started. It is Abdulghani Motors for Kingdom of Saudi Arabia with Lambic. Unfortunately, a refusal at the first is -4. Back over that on their second attempt. Back into their flow now, up to 17 points. Just trying to get nice straight lines. Oh, and unfortunately, second refusal there does mean an elimination for Abdulghani and Lambic. So unfortunately not to be today for the pair. Over that fence just on that second time of asking. But few refusals does mean elimination. As we head on now to Q8. Our next country to come forwards. Here's our top 5 as it stands. Very much battle between Qatar and Egypt at the moment. 2 of their riders in the top 5. And that fantastic round we just saw from Jassim El-Khoury out in front. 49.60 the time to beat. So as we say, to Q8, Sharifa Alawaidi, Super Sox Van de Koosveld Z. Just an 8-year-old coming forwards. By Staccato Gold. Unfortunately having a run out there, so coming back for their second time of asking. Coming down as well, so no points would have been picked up if these riders knock a pole. It just means they don't pick up points at that fence rather than lose them. They only lose points for refusals. So up to 19 now. So they're heading down this related distance, 8 and 9. Well, they kept the joker up, and that added plenty of points. 36 becomes their total. 69.34 is the time, and into 44th place.
Super Sox Van Koss, So the next to go
22 riders remaining in this competition. 74 riders will come forward by the end of the class. And now jumping for Qatar is Youssef Abdulrahman Al-Mutaf aboard KASS. It's 10-year-old stallion. On 12 points at the moment, cruising on over the Oxer at the bottom of the arena. Fence 8 going left-handed now round and opting for the standard fence 10, as we're going to call it, rather than the joker, and a lovely job done. A good 10 points picked up. 44 becomes their total, and with 56.70 is the time, they get into 18th place. Some very smart riding at the end, choosing that standard fence 10, because a good 10 points added on really made a difference and has popped them into the top 20 with just 21 riders left to come forwards. Ala Al-Zahari now for Egypt joins us with La Canta STR. Cantana STR is this 10-year-old mare owned by the Armed Forces Equestrian Club. Well, a promising start. Full points on the board at this current stage. Just slightly flat there over fence 5. Much better over 6. Cutting the corner round to 8, but added in that little extra stride, meaning they are clear with 1 to go. 40 points, not a bad score indeed, going for that joker. Can they make it 60? Yes, they can. Very nicely done indeed. 54.68 is their time. 60 points puts them into 12th place on our leaderboard. Great effort indeed, keeping her head even when they had 1 down at 5, because you can just see there is so much still to gain. Even if you have 1 pole down, okay, you're not going to finish on that golden 65. You won't take the lead, but if you can keep the other poles up, you can really start to gather some very important points, and it can push you right up there on the leaderboard. A big old class, 74 participants. Can we see from our next rider coming forward for Qatar? Haya Abdulaziz Al Araban and Toulouse PPZ. Up to 21 as they head round to 7. Everything stayed in place so far. It would be great to add another to the maximum amount of points. 7 riders have done it so far. Can she become number 8? She's going for it, and she's done it. Our 8th rider to finish there on 65 points. 60.62 is the time, and that pops them into 8th place. So big smiles, because that was a fantastic round indeed. They were very calm, they were very focused, they knew their mission and what they had to do, and that was a fantastic effort there. Higher. As we move on now to Jordan, It is the turn of Alia Ride Al Fada and Luna Beauty Hair Concept. 9-year-old. Now this looks like a very keen mare. Got a great shot over 5. You can just see that Anna just slowly tweaking the reins and just saying, whoa, sit back on your hocks so that the mare doesn't get too flat. And that's how she's doing so well so far on the maximum amount of points at this current stage of the track. She can keep cruising down at this pace. Oh, well sat. What a shame for that refusal, but she's recovered it very, very well. And that could have easily been a parting of company. These riders are very strong and very balanced, so the strength in her legs managed to keep her on her horse. Well, safely over it on the second time of asking and wisely opting, oh no, for the standard fence, but unfortunately a refusal there and a parting of company. What a shame, because the first half of the course was looking so good. It's great to see both horse and rider up on their feet. Neither one of them looked to be harmed. Just a really unfortunate end to their round.
Good to see, but sound elimination. So on that to Poland, and this is another man. This one by
On we go now to Poland. Agata Rogalska now joining us. She brings forward Kiara. 17-year-old grey mare. Just going for a very big wide turn round to 3. And she's really hoping to keep every fence in its cups. Maybe not going for time, just looking on getting good turns. She really is working on her turns, using the arena and making sure she's straight to every fence. And I mean, it's paying off. Another minute on the maximum amount of points. See her take a much wider turn than others, but smart rider, she knows her horse. She knows what's going to work. She knows what's going to hopefully get them to a clear round, but just getting a bit deep there at fence 8. Huge spring over 9. Opting for our standard fence at 10, and it's clear. Good collection of points of 47, 62, 30. The time good enough to edge themselves into the top 20, 19th place. With 16 left to go. Well, this mare has plenty of scope. Just got a bit close to that up right there at 8. She's very clever there at 10, helping out, and ears are pricked. She was keen to be doing it. Another horse who looks keen to be here, approaching fence 1 for Qatar. Hassan Ibrahim Al Nasser and Gringo. This 15-year-old Hi Finfin. Big jump there over fence 6. Added in that little extra skip of a stride in front of fence 7. Would have lost a second, but it does mean that they're clear, and clears are what count in this accumulator class. Oh, and unfortunately, parting ways there after fence 9. It was just a bit of an awkward jump, and he got thrown forwards out the saddle. Back up on his feet, which is good to see. If you wonder why his back looks rather puffed up, he has an air jacket on, which is fantastic technology for these riders. It attaches to the saddle, and when the rider separates from the horse, the air jacket inflates to protect the rider's back and organs, and is a fantastic innovation in safety. This sport constantly innovating, constantly becoming safer for all participants, and that is just an example of how. On to Egypt now. Roller Ahmed Saba in the ring with Galama Jaivi. 15-year-old. Huge jump over fence 6, taking a wider line round 7. They want to make sure they're nice and straight and neatly pop on over that. So to the final. Unfortunately, it falls there, the joker fence, so 12 becomes her total. 58.22, the time into 45th position.
So it's the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia looking to make their way back to the top of the leaderboard.
It's such a lovely jump over that oxer there at 6.
It is in Belly W, the man, Benora Alshaqab.
So to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Nora Alashik comes forward now with Burley W. Bit of a rattle there at 4, but it stays in the cups. Well, she's kicking on. I think she's conscious that she wants to try and be up there on the leaderboard, really keeping her foot down on that accelerator. See, cutting into fence 8, taking that on the angle, but that unfortunately is the result. 1 down there, so no points collected at fence 8, but what a flyer at 9. So 57, the time 50.99, a good time, 57 points into 15th position. As we're moving into our final section of this class, just 13 remaining.
It's going next again, and this is Asil Al-Matarif with the gelding. This one, the 8-year-old.
So our next rider to come forward is for Q8, Asil Al-Maturi and Imperial de Beaumont. Just an 8-year-old gelding by Cocktail de Tama. With a lot of scope by the looks of things over the first couple of fences. Oh, what a shame knocking that fence at 3. And just getting a bit close at 4. Sometimes these younger horses, when they get a bit close to a fence, haven't yet really built up the strength to get themselves up and out of a challenging situation. So they've had a little bit of an awkward jump at fence 5, and it has resulted in her popping in a circle because she's lost her stirrup. So -4 for the first circle, and this is going to be a second. So you can see she's lost both stirrups, just trying to find her feet again. So time is ticking. Should be picking up minus points now. Minus 1 point for every second over the time allowed. And that time allowed is 72 seconds. So they've regrouped and safely over fence 6. And this gelding has so much scope and ability. Just a little green at times, and they're just learning as a partnership along the way, coming now to the final fence. Wisely opting for that oxer fence.
Fence goes as well there, so it is going to be minus 24.
So minus 24 is the score. But I think today was more just an educational round after it unravelled a little bit at fence 5. It took a while to regroup before she jumped fence 6 here, which we're seeing. And very much it was just about getting across the finish line at the end of the day. In some of these classes, that is the case. These horses and riders can come in with very different plans. Some people are coming for a bit of training. Some people are coming to educate their young horses. Some people are coming for confidence, for fitness, and some are coming to win. We've seen all of those categories here today. Well, starting their round now, Abdullah Ahmed Al-Khalifi in the ring with Orlando's Alpha. But unfortunately had a stop at 4. Safely over on that second time basket. Well, they found their rhythm a bit more at the start. They just took a while to find their feet, but I feel like they're coming together a little bit more at the end of this track. Sometimes it can take horses a few fences to really settle into their rhythm. So they head round to the final fence. Bit of a wobble, and unfortunately a second refusal will mean an elimination there. A shame so close to home for Abdullah Ahmed Al-Khalifi and Orlando's Alpha.
So we've got 11 left to go, and next up it is Great Britain.
So we move on now to a rider for Great Britain. Should be next to join us in the ring. Yes, there he is, cantering around. It is the turn of Robert Smith for Great Britain. KASS DL. This 10-year-old bay gelding, owned by Danny Delzahn and Victoria Wearing. On the 7 points as they head round here, the halfway mark at 5. Just the last to go, racking up a good amount of points so far. 33, now up to 42, and a 20 to add for jumping the Joker fence. 62, a very smart score indeed. 60.26. The time into the top 10, 10th place exactly there for Robert Smith and KASS DL. Really nice round, just that one pole down at fence 3.
So let's move towards the next for Qatar with the 8-year-old man.
So still to beat. Clean sheets, that amazing top score of 65. 49.60 the time that was set earlier on by Jasmine El Akwari for Qatar. Moving on to our final 10 riders. And now jumping for Qatar, it is Nasser El Ghazali, I should say, and Nikita KWPN, 8-year-old. So on the 18, getting a nice straight turn round to 7. Looking to educate this young horse round this track. But if they can keep the poles up as well, they could well be quite competitive. Coming to the last on 42. This could easily be 62 if they can keep it up. And yes, they can. What a lovely round indeed. 62, the time 63.27 into 11, so just outside that top 10, behind Robert Smith, our previous rider to go actually. It's just the fence that they had down, but the rest was a really, really beautiful round. So to Q8, Abdullah Al-Garabali is in the ring now with Nestoris. Another 8-year-old coming forwards. This one buying Nesta de Mariposa. Actually, a refusal at the first there. So -4 will be picked up for every refusal. Found their rhythm now, and they're swinging round to this Oxa at 5, touching it with the back hinds. So no points picked up then, but a whole 6 over fence 6. So the total as it stands on 12 round to this upright. This has jumped very well indeed, opting for that curving line to 8 to get a stride there. To 36. Well, they're over the time allowed, so that's why points are being deducted that you see there, because 1 point deducted every second over that time allowed. 76.88 is their time, 72 is the time allowed, and 11 penalties is their total. This is where they would have picked up the time penalties at the start with that refusal. It does eat into the time, so that's just where they were dropping a few points at the end. To the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Al Saud is in the ring with Lagarde. 10-year-old bay gelding. Owned by Fahad Al-Shamari. Really getting up in the air over fence 3, tapping fence 4. They're riding in quite a forward canter. But getting it bang on there at fence 6. So up to 24 points towards the latter stages of the track. Round 2, the Joker, they're going for it. But unfortunately it falls, so 13 becomes a total of 52.38 as the time. A little bit flat at the early stages of the track. Well, actually, you see, he only has one stirrup there. He regained that, and the round significantly improved. So again, showing these riders balance. If they can jump 1 meter 20 with one stirrup, it is very impressive. Continuing on with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Halal Al-Rashid now with cruising on the ridge. Yes, Irish sports horse mare by Cannon. Big jumping stallion. Cruising on the ridge, very clever there. Just looked down at it astride at fence 4. Really turning in the air. I think she is hoping to be quite competitive in this class. She really looks like she's trying to keep her eye on the clock, motoring on. Miss Gowdy, extremely careful. Oh, very nice. 65, finishing on that golden 65. That's the maximum amount of points a rider can get in this class. 52.84 puts her into the top 3, into 3rd place behind Faisal Fahad Al-Oda, and pushing Fatima Mohamed Al-Qawashi back into 4th. So fantastic round indeed. Only 6 left to go, and the leaderboard is still having a shake-up. It's really not over till it is over. Here's our top 5, and Jasmine Al-Khwari leading the way there. 65 with 49.60 as the time. Can we see anybody come close to that in our final 6? Oh. Now jumping, it is Mohamed Amir Mabak Al-Kami. He's aboard Extreme Ivari AA. Only 18 points. And this is going to be a fast time. Naturally, a very speedy, little nimble horse. Very clever footwork there at the end. 62 is the points. 53.95 goes just outside that top 10. Goes into 11th place. In our final 5 riders left to go. You can just see how nimble that little gelding was at the end there to keep that joker fence up. Now to Qatar, Sheikh Nasser Khalifa Al Thani in the ring with Callisto W. It's that 10-year-old gelding. But not to be today. 2 refusals, unfortunately, does result in an elimination. What a shame early on in the track. So our next rider is coming forward now. It is Sheikh Ahmed Khalifa Al Thani for Qatar. Now the bell has gone, so just 15 seconds left to go through that starting beam. Sheikh Nasser Khalifa Tani aboard Alba Z. Bit of a rattle, but it doesn't matter. It stays. Very neat over fence 4. Just a little bit forward into that oxer there at 5. Coming to the last on 40 points. Gone for the joker, and unfortunately it falls, so that will be 20 as the total. 51.36 is the time.
So 20 is the score, 51.36 there with our set.
So just 3 riders left to go. I believe they're all from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. They currently have 2 in the top 3. Imagine if they make it a 1, 2, 3. That really would be something special. If anybody wants to move Jasmine Al-Khwari off the top spot, they're going to have to be jumping clear to get the maximum amount of points at 65. Faster than 49.60. Well, can we see that happen from our final 3? Let's wait and see. Saud Al-Rashid now joining us. And Quality Star event Zavandeli Z. Stallion by Quick Start. Beautiful jump over that oxer at 6. Stallion looking very keen. Unfortunately, a little bit too forward into fence 8. Oh, but took a stride out at 9 as they're up on 37 points to the joker, and it falls. So that becomes 20 points in total, 51.36 as the time. So 2 left to go, both from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
2 to go, and this is the 14-year-old
and it is the turn of Rose Al-Raba. She brings forward Haroon. Haroon, this 14-year-old KWP stallion. Owned by Abdullah Malik Abdul Hadi. A very forward canter at the early stages of the track. Holds are staying in place as well, so this could be a promising round. Don't know if she's going to quite be quick enough to challenge that time of 49.60, but if she can manage to end on that golden 65 penalties, she could well go into the top 10. Going for the joker. Oh, unfortunately it falls. So 25 becomes her points total, 53.77 as her time, into 36th position. It really was a beautiful round. It was only the last fence that caught them out.
So Qatar lead with just 1 left to go. Needs a maximum.
This was it, that joker fence, just a little bit close. She's still smiling, still happy, as she should be, because it was a super round. Final rider now of our 1-star accumulator 1 meter 20 class for Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Abdul Malik Abdul Hadi, who in fact was the owner of our previous horse in the ring, bringing forward Edwin. are up to 10 points. Now the 15, and they are really motoring around this track. Can our last rider totally change our leaderboard? Well, we'll wait and see. The minute they're going good, they're still flying down, 2 to go, keeping up the pace. They've got to keep the poles up as well. This tricky joker fence. Oh, it's going to be tight. Oh, unfortunately, that falls. The time was good, the time would have done it. But with that joker fence falling, they finish on 25 points, 49.37 was the time. Wow, what a speedy round. We really saw them go for it, but unfortunately that joker fence, it is a challenging fence to jump. You can see, look, they're saving every second by turning in the air over their fences, looking where they're going. Yeah, this joker fence just proving to be a challenge for many. Well, that concludes our 1m20 accumulator class, and it is a huge congratulations to our winner from Qatar, Jasmine Al-Khouari and Cesar Demarquet. 65 points in a time of 49.60. So huge congratulations to her. But that is all from me, Rosie Russell, here for the commentary of the Accumulator 1m20. I will pass you on to our arena commentary for the prize giving.
بالحضور الكرام الرحمن بأبطال مسابقة مترو 20 سنتيمتر ليوم الختام لبطولة مهرجان سيف سمو الأمير. الفائز البطل بهذه المسابقة فارس دولة قطر جاسم الكواري. في هذه الأثناء السادة الحضور الكرام سيقوم بكم السيد جون على العلوم الأجنبية الوقوف احتراما لعزف النشيد الوطني للبلد الفائز دولة قطر.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, if able, be upstanding for the national anthem of this morning's winner, Jassim Al-Kawari for Qatar. This morning, Salman Al-Suwaidi, sports manager here in Alshaqab, to make the presentation of awards and congratulate the winner for Qatar, Jassim Al-Kawari.
بحضور ودعم خاص الآن من المدير الرياضي السيد سالمين السويدي لتتويج بطل هذه الجولة جاسم الكواري.
Well done in second this morning for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It's Siantha Pias and Faisal Fahad Aloda.
ألف مبروك الآن تهانينا للمركز الثاني المملكة العربية السعودية فيصل فهد العودة وسيانثا بيأس.
Well done in third, also for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It's Cruising on the Ridge and Hala Al-Rashid.
ألف مبروك تهانينا الآن لفارسة المملكة العربية السعودية الفارسة الشابة هلا الرشيد والجواد كروسين on the ridge.
Well done in fourth for Egypt. It's Ibocampo Demor and Fatima Mahanad Al-Kishawi.
ألف مبروك الآن للفارسة الشابة الصغيرة فارسة جمهورية مصر العربية فاطمة محمود القصاوي والجواد إبو كامبو دمو.
And well done in fifth for Egypt once more with Corny Zad. It's Ganat Mutasim Ibrahim.
ألف مبروك الآن لأيضا جمهورية مصر العربية الفارسة جنات منتصر إبراهيم والجواد كورنيزن.
Our grateful thanks indeed to sports manager Salman Al-Suwaidi for stepping forward and presenting the awards this morning. But ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the one-star accumulator for Qatar, Jassim Al-Kawari.
جمهورنا الكريم أنتم وقود هالمرحلة وسطعنا تشجيعكم وهتافكم وتصفيق أيديكم جولة النصر الآن للأبطال.
Well, what a start to the final day of His Highness the Amir's sword, and the winner of the one-star accumulator, Qatar's Jassim Al-Khawari. Jassim, you must be over the moon with that performance.
Yeah, actually, I'm very happy with them today.
And such a big class. You were just after the halfway mark. Did you have the opportunity to watch a few of the earlier rounds? Did you see Faisal's round?
Yeah, actually, I saw a few riders. It was a bit difficult. Like they did a few, some did like hard movements, but I tried my best, and thankfully I got first place.
You went into the lead. There was still 25-30 to go. Were you watching, biting your nails?
I was a bit stressed because there were a few still good riders that could have beat me, but thankfully I stayed on.
And your week here at His Highness the Amir's sword, how's it been?
Actually, I've been competing in the dressage, and I got first place yesterday, and today I did it again. Thankfully.
Multi-talented, dressage, show jumping, winning in both. What is it about Alshaqab that brings out the best in you?
Actually, I really like it here. The atmosphere is very nice. It's a great show. The whole, not only the Amir Tour, but also the Doha Tour. And the organization is just perfect here.
Well, we look forward to seeing you over the course of the Doha Tour, of course. Still 5 more weeks to come. We'll let you enjoy the victory. Well done to this morning's winner, Jassim Al-Khawari.
Thank you.
good children need traveling shoes. Drive your problems from here. All good people read good books. Now your conscience is clear. I hear you talk, girl. Now your conscience is clear. In the morning